Hello and welcome to today's Daily Confidence Card. I am generous. My name is Michelle Baker. My gift is igniting confidence, and I am super passionate about female founders, women business owners, and sales leaders, and helping them make those connections where they work and identify their ideal buyers, and then they get to do the work they love while working with people they love to work with, which makes for a win-win-win and an incredible environment of selling and cultivating demand. Now, having said that, today let's talk about being generous. The prompt on the card actually says, how will I give random acts of kindness? And interestingly enough, as I read this prompt, I actually said, I want to change the prompt and have it be, how will I give without limits? And really thinking about, why do we put limitations on what we'll give? So often people will say, I'll do something, but not for that person, or not yet, or not now. Why are you limiting your giving? Giving creates reciprocity. It creates a cycle of receiving. You cannot receive if you're not giving. It's literally, I learned this years ago, if your hands are clutched to not give, to think that you have to hold on to something, to not be generous to someone else, then you cannot receive. In order to receive, your hands must be open. Now, having said that, I just really thought about, how can I impart some ways and some tips, some methods that somebody who's listening to this could think about. Yeah, that is so true. I do hold back on my giving because there's a sense of scarcity. There's a sense of scarcity and lack when we hold back. And I will be honest, I'm not telling you this because I was a master at this initially. I came from a background where there was a lack. There was times where there was no dinner. There's times where there was no groceries, right? There's been a struggle at points in my business where I can remember sitting there and only having $17. Rent was due, bills needed to be paid. So I get and understand that this is an experience that many people have when you're in your own businesses. And as a seller, I had quotas, and I'm sitting there looking at, how am I going to get enough? How will I meet my quota? And trying to help someone else with their work or do something for someone else when I felt like I was in need seemed absolutely ridiculous. There's something that happens in your brain when you make it a habit and standard of being generous, that it actually cultivates more of a flow of abundance. It creates more opportunity, it calms you, and it helps specifically, and most importantly, it changes the lens of how you perceive life. When you actually stop worrying about getting and truly start giving from a generous, open, altruistic, overflowing heart, you'll be amazed at what starts to come into your life. All the opportunity, the people you attract, how your conversation changes, how all of a sudden you can see all the abundance that's always there. It's always within your reach. It's just about how you're talking, how you're behaving, how you're responding, that will open the door for you. So having said that, I am going to share someone else's post. This is not me. This comes from Teeny Buddha. I went and Googled how to give generously is what I Googled. And I came upon this one post that I think is awesome from Teeny Buddha. And it gives 20 ways. I'm not going to read them all, but I'll start you off. I'll put the link in here, grab a few and think about it. 1, give money you can spare. I know that currently I don't have a vehicle. I'm about to get one again. When I had a vehicle, I kept dollar bills in my console so I could give them away. I actually, as one of my leadership training experience, I actually spent the day homeless and was around the homeless. And I will tell you, you'll be amazed at what a dollar will do for somebody, the difference it'll make in their life and what people can do. $5 is like magic for someone who is living on the streets. Let someone tell a story. Stop cutting people off and trying to one-up their stories. Listen to someone else's story and ask them a follow-up question. Do you know how generous that is when you actually take the time to hear someone? It is so rare. And I would tell you, I'm that person too, because I get overly excited like everyone else. And starting to learn to master, to settle oneself and be present to someone else is a gift and is generous. Let someone vent without trying to fix it, without telling them what they need to, have to, should do. Just let them vent. Let them go on and on and on about it without judgment, and let them spill their heart out. So few times we get to do that. Help someone who's struggling with difficult feelings. Tell them that, yeah, in a similar situation, after you've heard them out, of course. Don't try to fix them. Just maybe share your story of how you overcame or how you dealt with something. Ask how I can help you. Many times people don't ask to help because you're almost scared, and I'm laughing because I've done this. You're scared that you're opening Pandora's box or a can of worms and it's going to be too much. Tell someone how you feel about them. This is, I will share with you, I actually lived in a situation where the person would periodically tell me, you know, I'm grateful. And then I moved, and then I got in a different situation where the person always said thank you. They said thank you repeatedly throughout the day, constantly. There wasn't a day that went by that the next situation I went in, the person said thank you. Do you know the difference it made in my life to going from someone who claimed that they appreciated me to someone who actually demonstrated that they appreciated me, and how it changed me? Right? You can impact someone by just saying thank you and letting them know specifically why you appreciate them, and don't let a day go by. Tell someone how you feel about them. I think I said that one. Apologize when you've acted selfishly. This is the thing. Stop trying to be right. Focus on making life better for yourself and others by admitting when you've done something. When you get that feeling and you know you've done something wrong, don't rationalize why it's okay for you to have done someone else wrong. Actually go admit. It helps you build and develop your character till you become someone that is incredible to be around and people like to refer, recommend, and do work with. And I'll leave this at number 10. Hold someone's hand when they feel vulnerable. Reach out and hold someone's hand. I actually ask people, if it's okay if I hold your hand? Is it okay if I, touch your arm or embrace you? If it's okay if I hug you? So I always ask permission first. And, if they say yes, then I reach out and give that, because that touch sometimes makes a huge difference. And there's 10 more on the list. So I challenge you to take a look at this list. And once you read the 20, if there's something that's not on the list that you would encourage, that is a way for someone to give without expectations, which means no limits, add it. This is really game changing in the world. We put so many limits on what we do for other people. It actually limits what you do and believe for yourself. So understand, abundance is infinite, unending, and unlimited. And when you live that way, you will receive that way. Have a great day. And I look forward to coming to you with the next Daily Confidence Card. Bye.